Thank you for joining us for another episode of USATF's Journey to Gold Zone podcast. I am your host, Eric Kennard Jr., joined by my co-host, Wallace Spearman Jr., and the Keturah, Amari Chukwu, Orji. Thank you for joining.
Junior.
Junior? Are you a junior?
I am not, but you are, so.
I am a junior.
I was like, wait a minute. Hold
Did
on.
I leave my junior out?
No, you said it.
Okay. I was
Take three. We got that, baby. Let's go. Nailed
It
it.
took 3 takes, man. You get a few jumps in the high jump. I think it's 3 max. So, they take that third attempt sometime. KO, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Doing well. I feel like I'm in the presence of royalty here because I am 10-time U.S. national champion in the triple jump, multiple-time national champion at the NCAA level on the triple jump. You just win. Now, we have had a few changes with your geographic location, I believe, and also your training group recently. Talk to me about that. You've not been a stranger to switching your coaching situation if you feel like things aren't going your way. I'm not saying you're a rolling stone, but you definitely put your piece first. So talk to me a little bit about the coaching change you went through here this previous season.
Yep, I moved to Maryland to work with Aaron Gatson and Thea LaFond, who just won World Indoor Championships. And it was on the East Coast, so kind of close to home. My husband and my house is in Atlanta, so doing distance again, but decided to move for my final season of track.
Oh, whoa. We're going to back it up to doing distance again, with the emphasis on again, because I vaguely remember you telling me that you ain't doing long distance with your husband no more.
Yeah.
After moving back to Atlanta from California, San Diego specifically. And now you're doing it again.
Yeah, that's just how life goes. I was planning to retire after this Olympics in Atlanta while still training in Atlanta, but then things didn't really go the way I wanted to last year. So I was like, if we're doing it, we're doing it. And so I moved again.
So wait, regardless of whatever happens this season, you're for sure retiring?
Yes, I am. I'm not doing distance anymore. I'm going back to live in my house with my husband.
So
That's big news.
you said I'm not doing distance anymore, but you didn't say I'm not doing track anymore.
I'm not doing track anymore after this season.
Okay, you're done. Okay. Now, what led to your decision to retire after the season, especially on the eve of what seems like will be a changing of the guard in the women's triple jump event with Rojas recently having an injury?
I think my decision had to do with everything internal, not really external. So regardless of whatever was going on outside of my life, I wasn't really factoring that in. I think it had to do with, again, doing the distance. I think it has to do with how my body feels. I think it has to do with a lot of my friends and people that I care about not being in the sport anymore. I think it has to do with not feeling like I get the hype or the appreciation that I do for everything that I have been able to accomplish. There are a lot of pieces to it.
Yeah. You feel okay. Do you feel at peace with that though?
Yes, with deciding to retire.
Deciding to retire.
Yes, very much.
That's good. What would you say is shaped the scope of that experience of feeling like, I mean, you feel familiarity breeds, doesn't breed gratitude so much as it does content. So do you feel like people are just you haven't received the gratitude from a praise standpoint, or do you feel like it's been non-progressive from, the women's triple jump, the field? I was a field event athlete. We know we're not necessarily participating where the lights and camera action are. So is it that you've just grown all you can grow, you feel like, in the sport, so it just may be time? Or is it just, are you exhausted with
I think it's more of the exhaustion.
Yeah.
I think I could definitely continue. I know that women triple jumpers peak around like 30 to 32. I'm 28, so I feel like I still have some time to get better, but I'm not willing to give the sport that time.
Yeah, that's an interesting timing to walk away, being that we have the Olympics in 4 years, and your peak would be, from a physical standpoint, at that time too. So is this final, is what I'm asking, or will you revisit maybe after taking a little break, or is it I want to walk away, I'm ready to be with my husband, start a family potentially, and just leave KO?
Yeah, it's as
the
final
killer on the runway and leave that alone.
Yeah, it's as final as I can say right now.
Okay.
But nobody knows what's gonna happen in the future. If I decide to come back, then I decide to come back. But like as of present day, I'm done with track.
Because I was
after
about to
this
start
season.
going tank. Please
Boy.
don't go. You know what I'm saying? Hit the high notes and everything over here.
The people want to hear it.
So I'm gonna ask this question. So I can only view your situation from my perspective. So for me, if it was my final year and I knew one way or another I was gonna be done with the sport, I'd be focused on preparation to the max. I would not want to leave any stone unturned. I wouldn't want to have to walk away from the sport knowing I could have done something better. So what does your preparation look like for this year? Like, what's happening mentally and physically with you and training and elsewhere?
Yeah, I don't think the preparation's any different. I think my personality type is a person that if I'm doing something, I want to give my all. I want to excel. I want to do everything that I can. But I think specifically moving locations and changing coaches again was that commitment to, like, if this is your last year, then just give it everything you can, and whatever happens, happens.
Man, I didn't know what my last year was. So the fact that you actually like chose that's kind of cool.
You did not know when it was?
Nah,
It chose you.
injuries.
Yeah. But most
Definitely.
athletes only stop when they get hurt or they suck. You know, so the walk. I mean, that's the truth. Hey, am I lying? That's the truth.
I
You know,
think you're
some people get forced out the sports.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, so to walk away on your own terms is huge, because that just means you're in a peaceful posture. You know what I mean? So much of what we do is, you know, is an internal conflict or external conflict. You know what I mean? But you ready to just step out? That's dope.
Hey, I'm not sure if you were there or not, but I'm gonna mess with her for just a second. Look, you are the type of person, if you say something, I believe you.
Thank you.
Tenfold. I never question
That's
that.
a compliment.
It is. You only have one little hiccup in my book.
Okay.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Everything she's told me has come to fruition, except for this one thing. She was like, I'm not eating off anybody else's plate.
Oh my gosh.
You gonna eat your cornbread?
And then what happened?
And then I ate. Somebody offered a dessert, and I said, I'll get some of that.
And then
Or is that one of the 5 minutes later? 5
What?
minutes later.
So now I'm just, I'm replaying this whole conversation in my head, and I'm like, is she really done, or is she gonna eat somebody's dessert?
Hey,
Somebody else-
you heard what I said. I said the last time you moved, you said this was the last time you was moving.
That's just twice already. You're right. One more, and it's a trend. Then I'm gonna have to. Zoho expense is still coming through for me. So you have a blank check in my book when it comes to finances. But I'm just saying.
No, but first of all, that's bad advice, and we don't give bad advice. You don't give bad financial advice for sure. So tell him we ain't leaving no blank checks, giving out no blank checks when it comes to finance.
She has enough discipline. I don't have to worry about her.
Ain't doing
She's
that.
probably more responsible than I am. I give her my accounts, and I come back, and there'll be more money in there.
That's a fact. So is that going to be your transition, KO? And have you thought about that? Like, what will you pour your passion into next outside of your marriage? I know you've spent some time in the space, of personal finance. Are you going to, pour more into, going into being a financial advisor or in the investing space full time? Or are you just going to kind of play things by ear?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go into that space. I have my own business, KO Financial Coaching. I didn't start that to make money or anything. I just saw a lack of education financially, and I wanted people to have a space to come to get advice and it to be affordable, and just to kind of make the process smoother. So I do have my own business that I do like on the side, but then I also work part-time at a company called Seat Safe Financial as a paraplanner. I just passed my Series 65 exam. For anyone that knows what the Series 65 is, it's not
Big time.
easy.
Big time.
So I'm thankful that I passed that because it was stressful. But really just moving into the financial advisor, investment advisor space. And I'll probably start working full-time at that job that I'm part-time at right now. So I'm excited about that.
And repeat your financial planning service again.
KO Financial Coaching.
This portion of USATF's Journey to Gold Zone podcast is brought to you by KO
Financial Coaching.
Financial Coaching. If you're trying to turn those 15 cents into $1, or that nickel into $1, or hopefully a little more into dollars into more dollars, sign up with KO Financial Planning and Coaching.
I'll make sure
Appreciate
we're
that.
not giving away money. See
Hey.
where it went.
The power of money is in time. It ain't about how much you make, it's about how much you keep, right? All right, there we go. What else you got? Irons in the fire, KO.
Irons in the fire?
Irons in the fire, yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I feel like every time I'm with you or we have a conversation, I learn something new. Not necessarily about you, but just new stuff. Wallace, you put Wallace on with an app service. Like I need to get all the
Like
info.
6 years ago, I think, too.
Like yeah, like
Maybe not that
I
long,
don't know.
but-
I feel like you might have a website with some info on there that I might need to know.
I mean, I like reading. I don't know if
What
I
are you
don't know if y'all
reading?
did that about me. I just finished reading In 5 Years. It's a fiction book.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh wait, you had questions for me too.
I did.
Shoot, go ahead. We'll switch.
What?
You to be the interviewer.
Let me watch this.
I don't remember the specific questions because it was based off a quote you posted on your story, but I think it was something about like, have you yet figured out what it is that you want to do post track? What are your goals post track? What are you working towards? I just feel you always have all these motivational, they're like low key motivational quotes on his story. It's like, everybody get up at 5 a.m. At 5 a.m., everyone's asleep but you, and that's why you need to be up, and that's when the millionaires are made.
I don't say nothing
I'm
like
like,
that,
oh,
but
okay.
it be some stuff like that. Though.
Just rock with it,
And
bro.
I
Why
get
you
up
gonna
at 5 a.m. Oh, I just no. Oh, you were paraphrasing. Okay, I get it.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
So this is I have exactly what I'm sorry because I was reading I'm like, dang, was this something else?
That's a lie. I'm not motivational.
You know what? I don't care what time y'all get up.
No, it's repost.
Yeah, repost. No
Yeah.
facts. Okay. Oh, you said that was exactly what you said. You said I'm interested in hearing what your goals/dreams are post track. If I have any processes or systems, I'm crazy. I will lead with that. I'm crazy, not stupid. So I have many processes and systems that I keep in place for my life, and I'm retired. And a lot of those processes and systems you're learning and you use every day in training. I approach life just like that. Like so, people are like, oh, you work out, and I'm like, no, I don't work out. I train. Before I was just training for an arena that I competed in. Now that arena is life, and it's not that it is a competition, but if you want continuation in it, you got to prepare for that. You know what I mean? Like, so I just, for the most part, I try to remove myself from aimlessness as much as possible, and I try to make sure that that my focus is not only on destination but which direction I'm taking. So yeah, I am a pretty forward thinker in that way, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, I hope that helps you. But yeah.
It does a little bit, but that's broad. So like, are you a morning workout person or you evening
yes.
workout
Oh,
person?
yes.
Ask me.
What
Let's
do
see
you
if I
do?
can answer for him.
What do you do for the workout? 'Cause
Yeah.
You want me? You ask me. Ask me. You be the interview, and I'll tell you.
About him or
Yeah, about
about
him.
you?
I got it. If I'm wrong, he
when
can
does
gong
he
me.
work out?
5 to 5:30 every morning, depending on the country and the travel arrangements. What happened before, but
Every day.
I'd probably say 6 days a week.
Okay. And what is his schedule? Is it like I lift some days, I run some days?
Yeah,
What
he
is-
does. I bet say mostly like strengthening, and then he does some cardio to kind of go in there. I bet say he has all his workouts from his whole career, like the weights and the running and the everything.
That's
So
true.
he just kind of used that to guide him on how he's feeling right now. If he,
Okay.
if he
I'm
looks in-
old.
Yeah.
I'm not as spry as I used to be.
if he looks in the mirror and he's like my calf muscles aren't what they, then he does, so he knows how to target different parts of the. Yeah, I got you. What else?
Okay.
That's true.
I think that might be it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm before 8 or you late is my motto.
Okay.
On like anything.
See there's motivational.
Yeah,
quotes
that's
for
my
it.
slogan.
There it is.
Before 8 a.m. or you late. Yeah, before 8 or you late. So if you don't, if I don't do my self care before 8 a.m., then I'm not gonna have a good day. That's what I feel like.
I have one more track related question for you.
Okay.
So I went to the University of Arkansas to just kind of give you some context of this. I'm about to say before Arkansas was known for sprinters, they were distance runners and jumpers.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I got recruited to go to Arkansas and ended up walking on, I was a long jumper.
Okay.
So follow the jumps from early 2000s until current. I feel like you were the great hope. I'm about to say I'm not worried because you're done, because at that time they were looking for someone to come in and do anything. And I feel like you stepped up big. Did you ever feel pressure to be that person who came in and just kind of gave life to that event once again?
Originally, I didn't feel pressure because I didn't know much about the event. Like, I got a full scholarship to college and I was triple jumping, so it didn't really matter. It wasn't like, here's the American record and this is what I want to do, and the Americans aren't good at this, so if I do, like, I didn't really know all that.
University of Georgia.
UGA, go Dogs.
You're in the SEC, so I'll rock with it. I'll allow it.
Yeah, but then as success came and like I made my first Olympic team, and I remember 2016 was the first time we brought 3 women to the Olympics in the women's triple jump. And just as I started to extend the American record more and more, I realized really what it meant and what I was doing in the sport. And yeah, I'm still the only American woman to be a 2-time Olympic finalist. So there's a lot of history that I've been able to set within the event, and I'm just grateful to be able to do that. And now we have 3 women over 1485, which is like crazy because in
Huge.
2016 the American record was 1440.
Absolutely. I'm about to say, so you kind of set the trend for that to, actually come into fruition. I appreciate that. And then lastly, I'll say, so I'm going to say you can dabble in a few other events if you chose to, or I personally feel like you can from watching you. Maybe I'm wrong. And maybe hearing some stories from your training partners.
Okay.
We won't
Which
tell.
training partners?
There's one, who am I talking about? Boss.
Oh, Sid.
Exactly. So with that being said, just talk to us about how you kind of cross train or things that you do outside of just, bounding and the triple jump that kind of help you prepare to be ready for any competition.
Yeah, I think the only thing outside of triple jump that we do is just short sprints. Especially in Maryland, we practice in an indoor facility, so we don't have a lot of space at all. So like everything we do is like 20 meters or less, really, really fast.
Elevated runway, right?
Yeah. And that's very new for me. I've always kind of had like 150s or 120s within my training, but I guess I've realized this year has taught me that like you can do the short stuff and still get very fast. And our approaches aren't very long at all, so it's not like you have to have the endurance for a 150 or something like that. So that's what I would say this year has taught me, being in like a smaller space.
So you hear that, relay coaches? You have a first leg if you need one. 4x1.
Not quite what I said, but
Gold
okay.
gold medal. She claimed it. Okay, I'm lying.
I did run the 4x1 in high school.
And what leg did you run?
I don't remember. The anchor. I think I ran the anchor.
Did you show out? Did you win?
Sometimes.
This one here is humble. It took us a long time to get to a point where, let me rephrase that. It took me a long time to get to a point where I could talk to her. She's intimidating. This one here, she has her stuff together.
Yeah, I've heard that word about me since I was middle school.
She's not mean.
KO is mean.
She's just direct. She's not. You just look. She's gonna tell you in a nice way.
Tell me the mean things about me. I'd love to hear this.
No, I never heard anything mean about you, actually.
I haven't either.
I've heard nothing but nice things about you.
That's great.
Except for this mean thing you said when you said this was your last track season.
Oh, that was mean?
Yeah, I wasn't really feeling that. I don't know. Yeah, we're going to have to talk offline about that.
Okay.
We're going to have to talk. We're going to have to talk offline about that.
I wish you luck.
You changed the event, so we definitely.
Yeah, we got people to carry it on.
I look forward to your coaching career starting after your last track meet.
Okay.
Do you have any interest in coaching?
I do not.
Do you have any interest in staying in the track and field space after your last track meet?
I would like to. I really enjoy the sport. Like,
Okay.
if you talk to me about track athletes, like, I follow the sport.
Who's your favorite track and field athlete?
That's a hard question.
Your favorite triple jumper?
That's a hard question.
Favorite event?
They're all hard questions.
That's
I'm sorry.
None of those questions was hard just now.
If I had to choose you said favorite track athlete?
Yeah.
It's not gonna be based off of track though. It'll be Kendall Williams, and that's because that's my
that's
girl.
Your best friend. Yeah,
I was about to say which one. Sorry.
Bias.
Yeah, girl Kendall Williams, heptathlete,
Bias.
5th place finish at the Olympic Games.
Ooh. What else?
I don't know, 7-time NCAA champ.
Ooh.
Yeah. Talk about it.
Yeah.
Carfax.
Really put them out there.
Yeah, but she was my roommate at both Olympics and roommate at like a bunch of world championships.
Were y'all roommates
so-
in college?
Yes, we were. We don't get tired of each other.
So you're gonna miss that part though? I mean, I know people struggle with that as well. Like you've dedicated a lot of your time to becoming the best in the world at your event. I mean, I know we've talked about, financial services, etc. Are you gonna miss that time you actually spend trying to become the best at something? Is that gonna be hard to replace that time?
It probably will. It's hard to answer that because I'm still in the space, but I probably will miss it. I think there are aspects I'll miss. So like, I'm probably not gonna miss training. Probably not gonna miss having to track food and weigh myself. But then like, I'll miss like the camaraderie around like having a hard workout and getting through it together, or like accomplishing something that you never thought you could do, like the traveling to meets and going all over the world. There's so many benefits of being a track athlete. So.
The travel part, I'm about to say, some people don't really realize that whenever they leave, like and this is gonna sound weird, but it's the truth. You're never gonna be somewhere where there's 50, 60,000 people clapping or cheering for you. You're not gonna be able to go like this in an office, and
Yeah.
your coworkers start clapping like, send that email. Like that's not happening.
Yeah, I don't think I do track for that anyway.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I
You're
think
not
I'm,
in it for the
I'm
praise.
unique. I think I'm unique in that aspect.
You're not in it for the praise. So what has kept you motivated in the sport up until this point? Like, I mean, you really have made the decision that you've done, right? And you're at peace with walking away from it. And for a lot of athletes, that comes when, maybe you've accomplished everything you set out to accomplish. You've done all the things. I don't know necessarily. I know you, so I know that that's not, that's not your perspective. But what allowed you to be at peace with this? Because right now we're pre Olympic trials and all that, and you are just like at peace with like being done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, hey, I have the 4 more weeks or another month ahead of us, but I'm at peace with being done. Like, what, why, how did you come to that conclusion?
Yeah, I think it's from at a young age, my parents kind of raised us to not value ourselves based off sport and success. And so I know that I am who I am regardless of everything I've done on the track. My close friends always know, like, don't introduce me as Keturah the Olympian. Don't introduce me as Keturah the triple jumper, because Keturah is more than the Olympian. Keturah is more than the triple jumper. So when I'm labeled as that, I get very offended because it makes me feel like I wouldn't have any value if I didn't do those things, which is not true. And so I think that having my identity outside of sport allows me to let go of it easily, because I know that I have a bunch of talents. I can triple jump really well, and everyone knows I can triple jump really well, but there are other things that I can do. And so it doesn't weigh on my heart to have to let something go, because it's like we have options. We can do a lot.
Limitless. I like that. That's a good note to end. I like that.
I'm about to say, I do want to know this as well. I'm about to say, when you do walk away from the sport, that's one thing that you would hope or that you want people to know about you as a person or you as a competitor.
That's hard. Okay, me as a competitor is that I really care about what I do, because I feel like people will base stuff off my facial reaction. So, like, let's say I have
Poker face.
I
If it
have a
was
great
ever a
jump.
poker face in the sport,
Let's say I
yours
have a
is it.
great jump or I win or something. Oh, it didn't seem like you cared. You weren't happy. I'm feeling all of that internally. It just doesn't express itself the way it expresses itself in other people. So
I trained with KO for about a few months, huh? Few months. The most nonchalant. I'm talking to some people at least show some emotion when they in pain.
She like the Joker
Yeah,
from
man,
Denver
what?
then, huh? You won the national championship.
Everybody
It's
dying.
just basketball.
Everybody. She stepping to the line just
no, I'm feeling the same thing you're feeling.
like
I'm
damn,
just not
right?
showing it.
Damn, Terminator. Like, what's going on?
All right, so what? You said as a competitor. What about you as a person then?
As a person, I would say that I care deeply about the people close to me. I'm sensitive, which people wouldn't think that about me.
What?
Me too. I'm highly sensitive. I went to school for that sensitivity.
And yeah, and my honesty and directness is not out of rudeness. It's just who I am. So yeah,
I like it.
KO the comp.
Ooh.
KO the comp. Well, we appreciate your time as always, KO. We gonna have an offline conversation.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Perfect.
And we wish you continued success. Obviously, you're with my favorite coach for sure in the event.
I'll have to let him know.
Yeah. So definitely appreciate you joining us in the insight. You've had a great career, long career, historic career. There's still history yet to be made for you, and we definitely look forward to watching the rest of that take place.
Thank you.
Appreciate you for joining us. Thanks for joining us on another episode.
Yeah.